Funny enough though, even baseball isn't safe from the myth that socialism has failed. Listen to this announcer calling a Dodgers game suddenly go off on socialism when a Venezuelan player steps up to bat.
Socialism failing to work as it always does, this time in Venezuela. You talk about giving everybody something free and all of a sudden there's no food to eat. Anyway, 0-2.
Oh my God, I truly hope that somewhere out there is a Spanish language announcer mentioning the failures of capitalism when calling an American soccer game.
Bueno, son malos porque no hay dinero en el fútbol. No es como el fútbol americano donde hay muchos momentos para publicidades. El capitalismo vence al deporte.
Well, this is the very problem with the history of the United States. The United States had periods where it was capitalist, round about the First Industrial Revolution. For periods it was capitalist, and then America just seemed to have turned its back on capitalism and moved further and further in the direction of what we know as corporatism. And no, they're not the same thing. You would say that even Hong Kong in the period that I mentioned between 1961 and 1997 was strongly capitalist, or Sweden between 1870 to 1960 was strongly capitalist. And what you could see is the evidence it does not reflect what you have basically stated. The people were not starving. In fact, the very opposite happened on a scale. You saw the exact opposite. There was actually more food to go around the people. In fact, it was capitalism that saved the American people from the starvation that they were suffering. It was the communal ownership of property, the absence of secure private property rights, which was the very reason why people were starving to death. The reason why the pilgrims were starving was simply because they didn't have the liberty to work for the fruits of their own labour, because there was no individual private ownership. So since there was no individual private ownership, since it was communal ownership, they were faced with the free rider problem. They were faced with the very issue that they had no liberty to work for the fruits of their own labour. And that's why with 103 Jamestown settlers within what would become the United States in 1607, within a space of 6 months, a good a large portion of that, only 38 had survived, where most of them died of starvation and disease because of communal ownership. It was actually because of capitalism that saved their lives and allowed more food to, get to people's tables, and they were able to live longer, and the life expectancy had more than doubled. The population, even in Britain, had more than tripled. So, I mean, it really is farcical to say that capitalism's been to blame for your problems that you face today. That's not the reason why you've got expensive costs of food, etc. That's to blame on socialism that's caused the high inflationary problems within this mixed economy. It's not the fault of capitalism, because capitalism is about the free market. And to say that you have some sort of free market today, again, that is farcical.